You're watching the Wrestling Nerd broadcast. Now here's your hosts, Tom, Nick, Ryan, and Dave. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. It's you, it's me, it's NRD. Uh-huh. Let's start the show.
That is right, ladies and gentlemen. It is you, it is me, it is the granddaddy of them all. It is time for WrestleMania 39 predictions live from SoFi Stadium. Welcome to the Wrestling Nerd broadcast for the main event of the weekend as we bring you our WrestleMania predictions, in which King Spaceman George will defend the crown against the Royal Rumble winner this year, Mr. Tom says hi, Sasso. Gentlemen, welcome to the broadcast. Welcome to WrestleMania.
You know, it's always good to be here, Dave, and it's always good to finally have the spotlight. And I just want to let you know, George, I've been working.
Greetings, Earthlings. Greetings, Imposter King, Referee Dave. And greetings, Competitor Tom. It is I, your king, King Spaceman George, and I'm here to rule WrestleMania like I rule the galaxy.
Well,
let's go, gentlemen.
Listen, gentlemen, I am the referee. I am the referee. I am the real deal, and I am here to drop the hammer if need be. So listen, folks,
Before we begin, George must say best wishes to his best friend, Gerald the Puppet, who is still at home recovering because Tom attacked him. He's a puppet, Tom. Why would you put your hands on a puppet? Gerald, we miss you. And thoughts and prayers to Gerald the Puppet. He will return. He has lots of money, so he's getting the best care. I just want to say, I am saddened that my best friend is not here.
Listen, hold on. I just got to say that I've been so pleasant. I've said hi to everybody. I've given people real life hugs. I've been such a pleasant guy, and I've dealt with so much nonsense of not ever having a chance to be king of the nerds. Well, you know, I got tired of it. I got tired of George's nonsense or Gerald's nonsense. I'm always tired of George's nonsense. A king that's done nothing for the show. I want to bring integrity back. I want to bring this positive air of highness, of just the Tom says hi spirit to the show again. I want things to be the way it should be. Dave, referee Dave, can we please start predicting?
Well, ding, ding. Let's ring the bell, gentlemen. This is how it goes down. 13 matches on the card at time of recording. For the record, it is March 29th. It is Wednesday evening. So WrestleMania, 13 matches as of tonight. 4 matches have been announced for for their nights in general. So far, we have 3 on night 1, 1 on night 2 so far announced. So the way it's going to work is both men will go back and forth giving their prediction on who they believe will win each match. And then at the end, they will give a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker will be total match time for both nights of all the matches combined. So away we go. Bell is rung. The Royal Rumble winner versus the King of the Nerds here at WrestleMania 39. United States Championship match will be the first match of WrestleMania weekend. It will be my best friend John Cena taking on the United States champion Austin Theory. Tom, you were the first man into the Rumble. You will give the first answer at WrestleMania.
Easy. Austin Theory. He needs it. John Cena does not need to win a title. Austin Theory wins this match. Ready. Go ahead, George.
Well, George has a theory. And George's theory is that John Cena is going to win because just like you, Tom, you can't see this crowd. You'll never see this crowd. And John Cena will win the match on the earth.
Fair enough. Then it is the birthday boy and rookie of the year's turn to get in the ring as Logan Paul, the second most infamous YouTuber behind this show, will take on Seth frickin' Rollins. George, we will let you answer first this time.
George, Spaceman, freaking George, picks Seth freaking Rollins to win the match. Because this isn't YouTube. This is combat.
Okay, fair enough, Tom. Who do you have for this match?
I went back and forth a lot. This was actually harder for me to pick than I thought. Logan Paul is having one hell of a year, and his contract expires. What better way to get him to extend his contract to give him a big win at WrestleMania? But Seth Rollins just doesn't win anymore, and I don't think he needs the win, but I think they could do more with Seth Rollins winning. So yeah, George, I will agree with you. Seth Rollins wins.
All righty. Next up, we have 6-woman tag team action at Mania. It will be the women's tag team champions, Becky Lynch and Lita, teaming up with Trish Stratus to take on Damage Control, the team of Bayley, Io Sky, and Dakota Kai. Tom, who do you have in this one?
Yeah, obviously I'm going to pick Bayley. So I'm going to go with Damage Control. And just to kind of expand on it a little, I assume Trish Stratus is going to turn on Becky and Lita. And I think team with Bayley to go for the tag titles.
Interesting.
So Damage Control, yeah.
George, who do you have in this one?
Well, George has something to tell you, Tom. And that's
What?
Bayley likes George better, brother. So we're going to take Bayley and Damage Control up to the space station with George, baby. Flying on Space Mountain.
Wow.
So who's your pick? Is that who you're going with?
Yes, George is going to go with the Damage Control.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. You just said that they like you more. You didn't say you were picking them. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So for our next match, we have a throwback almost 30 years in the making. It will be Giant Gonzalez taking on The Undertaker. Oh, I'm sorry, that's Brock Lesnar taking on Omos in a main event caliber match.
Okay.
George, who do you have in this one?
Well, George thinks that Omos is almost going to win, but not quite. And Brock Lesnar is going to win the match. That's all I got for that.
Yeah. I just want to see Brock. What's it? An F5? I just want to see him F5 Omos. I don't care about this match. Brock Lesnar's going to win.
WrestleMania 9, highly underrated WrestleMania, for the record, everyone. Speaking of underrated things, tag team wrestling in the WWE, men's fatal 4-way showcase tag team match. It will have the Street Profits taking on the Viking Raiders, taking on Alpha Academy, taking on Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Tom, who do you have in this one?
This match makes no sense.
Nothing does at this point.
Nothing makes sense. So I may not have been really watching a ton of WWE lately. I didn't realize the Viking Raiders were like back and in some sort of like prominent role to where they could be in this match. I'm gonna say the Street Profits, because what's his face was in the Elimination Chamber.
Yep.
I don't know his name. Montez Ford.
There
And he did really well, and I think he had a really good showing in there. And what better way to put him over again is to have him win the tag team four-way match.
Okay, George, how about you?
Shoosh, Imposter King George, or Imposter King Dave. George, King George is going to pick Dan Gable and Ortiz, the American Alpha team. I don't know their name.
Alpha Academy, some king
Yes.
you are.
George doesn't deal with jobbers.
Oh boy. Speaking of jobbers, everyone's got a job on this pay-per-view, because we will have the women's fatal 4-way showcase tag team match. It will be Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan taking on Shotzi and Natalya, taking on Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green against Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. George, who do you have in this one?
Well, George's close personal friend, Matt Cardona, once told him that he should always pick his wife in things. So George is going to pick Chelsea Green and her partner that George doesn't remember.
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville, of course.
Episode 100 with Chelsea Green's husband, Matt Cardona, available now on the channel. Tom, who do you have in this one?
Member of the intergalactic royal family, Matt Cardona.
Has Ronda Rousey been on TV at all?
Maybe on SmackDown, I would assume.
I know WWE likes Raquel. I love Liv Morgan, and I think Liv Morgan needs to be pushed to the moon. But I don't think they're going to win the tag match. I don't see Ronda Rousey being at WrestleMania and losing right now. So I'll pick Ronda Rousey and Shayna Baszler. They, as a team, they're the only one that makes sense to me because they both did MMA.
It's very true. All righty. So next we have the Raw Women's Championship match. There will be a mask in this match eventually. Asuka taking on the champion Bianca Belair. Tom, who do you have in this one?
Asuka.
Going Asuka. Okay. George, how about you?
George is a big fan of Mask, if you didn't know this by now. So King George will also pick Asuka because King George likes Mask.
It's fair enough.
Singular. Mask, singular.
Mask. George likes Mask. All righty.
Spaceman George Mask, available soon on ProWrestlingTees.com.
It's very true. Then next we go to hell, ladies and gentlemen, and we do it in the cell. Heck, in a sec, it will be Edge taking on the Demon Finn Balor. George, who do you have in this one?
Oh, well, this is a very hard choice for George because George wasn't paying attention. It was funny, but George will figure it out. George is going to pick George heard the Brood is coming back. And if the Brood comes back, I don't know. It might be hard for the Demon. Lots of scariness. This is a scary match. But George is going to pick the Demon Finn Balor because the Demon never loses, just like George never loses, brother.
Okay.
He's picking Finn Balor.
Fair, yeah.
Fair enough.
Before, but okay. Yeah, I also heard the Brood was coming back. Gangrel is supposedly definitely there. Christian's on the rumor mill. I would love to see that Tony Khan says, yeah, like this is something you should do. With that being said, have you seen Finn Balor with his shirt off? The abs are ridiculous.
Have you seen George with his shirt off?
I don't ever want to see George with his shirt off.
No.
Please don't. It's hard for me to ever go against picking Finn.
Yeah.
Especially if he's coming out as a demon at Heck in a Sec. It just makes sense. So I'll go Finn Balor too.
All righty. Then we go to the match I'm probably looking forward to the most, other than the main event of the entire show. It will be for the Intercontinental Championship. It will be a triple threat match. It will be Sheamus versus Drew McIntyre versus Gunther. Tom, who do you have in this one?
I hate Drew McIntyre. He's boring. I know, unpopular opinion. I'm going Gunther. I think Gunther might be the guy to bring that prestige back to the Intercontinental title, to be honest with you. He's got the look. He's got the chops. I think Gunther was a pretty easy choice for me on that one.
I'm just saying Darby Allin hits harder than Gunther.
I'm just saying there's not a chance in hell that's true.
You never know. So George, who is your choice?
Well, George is going to have to select Drew McIntyre because he has a large sword, just like George has a large sword, brother.
Ladies. So let's see then. In our next match, you threw me a little there. In our next match, it will be an emotional one for sure. The Usos put their longest reign in WWE history as tag team champions on the line against the best friends, the North American Nightmares, 2/3 of it, according to Danielle. It will be the Usos taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with the titles on the line.
George,
you go first.
George will go first. George always goes first, brother. Come on, Imposter King Ref Dave.
Sorry,
George
Mr.
is gonna
Referee.
pick. George is gonna pick the Usos because they are brothers, just like my brother, Gerald the Puppet. Thoughts and prayers to Gerald the Puppet.
brothers
The
now?
Usos. We are
Brothers
brothers.
now.
I am
What the hell is
adopted.
going on
I
with
am
this?
King George the Puppet.
I
I'm
did
here
not
for
know that
space.
I did not know that
Pick the
Dudleyville was in
Usos.
the intergalactic universe.
Wow.
We're space brothers. You wouldn't know anything about that, Tom.
I wouldn't. Do you want to know why? I don't live in space. I live in reality. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are 100%. 100%. There will not be a doubt during that match for me that the Usos win. Kevin and Sami 100% are winning. Because there's no way that the Usos are going to win. It doesn't make sense for them to win. Yeah, and I think they just need to bring back one set of tag titles. Get rid of both. Bring back one. Do some new belts. Call it a freaking day. God.
All right, then. Speaking of a family affair not concerning brothers, but it will concern father and son. And I believe it is the first time that relatives will fight at WrestleMania, excluding all of The Rock's cousins, when it is Rey Mysterio taking on ex-con Dom, Nick Mysterio. Tom, who do you got?
I don't think we understand how great Dominic Mysterio is right now. Because he's so whiny and annoying and stupid.
Yep.
He's one of the most brilliant characters on television currently, and I cannot get enough of this. I don't see Ray winning. I see Dominic clean beating Ray. Like no nonsense. Beats Ray doing the 619, and Ray lays down. I think, yeah. If Ray didn't just do an interview saying he's not retiring until he's 50, I would have said this is his retirement match. But Ray is not winning. The 100% Dominic Mysterio.
All right. And George, who do you have in this match?
Well, George is also not retiring until George is 50 from being king. And George is not even close to being 50.
I bet you George would fight Owen if he had the chance.
50 in space years.
I bet you George is much older than we think.
George is older than time and space. And all.
No, he's more than 50, you dipshit.
No. Younger than 50. Not in Earth years. But anyway.
Younger than George 50, but older than 72.
Okay. But George said George is going to pick Dominic Mysterio also, because George has also had hard times and been down on his luck before. They had to do a hard time in the space penitentiary for crimes that George will not talk about on this broadcast.
Don't get us demonetized.
You're all food astronaut ice cream.
Yes.
Don't let it melt. Things that'll make you melt. It is the SmackDown Women's Championship, as Rhea Ripley, the winner of the Royal Rumble, the one who got Tom to this main event himself, will take on the champion Charlotte Flair. Spaceman George, who do you have in this one?
Oh, this is a hard one also. But George is going to have to go with Charlotte Flair, because she is the queen and George is the king forever of space and all the universe. So George will go with Charlotte Flair. Woo. Woo.
Woo. Woo. Tom, hey, separate to your corners, gentlemen. Tom, who do you have in this one?
The clips I've seen a lot, Charlotte is coming down to the ring in high heels and ending up barefoot, and you can't trust that being a champion. I think that Rhea Ripley, it's time. I think it's time for Rhea to be the star, and she has done great character work. She's a phenomenal wrestler. Normally, I don't love Charlotte. I'm actually really excited to watch this match. I think the two of them are very skilled wrestlers, and I think Rhea's better. But yeah, I'm gonna pick Rhea. That should be a fun match to watch.
All right. So yes, then it comes down to our lucky 13th match. It is for the undisputed WWE Universal Championship. It will be Roman Reigns, who as of Sunday in the main event will have been champion for 943 days, against the American Nightmare and the winner of the Royal Rumble, the man who got DDJ a shirt. Check out Shooting Shit. Cody, the American Nightmare Rhodes, the third member of the North American Nightmares. Good grief, someone entered the space station for a second. So Tom, main event. Who do you got?
It's been a road to this, huh?
Yes.
You know, Dave, we were talking earlier of how, you know, it would make sense for Roman to hold the title for 1,000 days.
Yep.
From a marketing standpoint, the t-shirts that they could sell, the figures, the posters, from a marketing standpoint, it on paper makes the most sense for Roman Reigns to win. But I think I need to counter that with, I think WWE is going to give the fans what they want. And I think Sami Zayn's going to come back in and win the title. No, no,
There was two. He kicked out. There was two. He gets to go again.
No, I do really think Cody's going to win. It makes sense. I think that's the only way I can explain it. It makes sense for Cody to win, for coming back to WWE, doing this whole like I miss my dad thing that he always does. It brings his career full circle, and then he can just fade. I don't know.
Fair enough. George, crown on the line. This could decide it for you. Who do you have in this one?
Well, George likes all that stuff you said, Tom. Not really.
I hate you.
George is going to pick Roman Reigns because just like Roman Reigns, George is the king, and George is the champion for not only 1,000 days, but 1,000 light years. And with that, so George is done contractually with this, and he is going to cruise the universe in a celebration of King George. This is over. This is done. George doesn't need a tiebreaker. George is king forever. Transmission over.
Well, I mean, that may work for George, ladies and gentlemen. But as the referee, I am demanding that this predictions contest have a tiebreaker. Tom, I will start counting George out in the background while you give us your time for total match time of both nights.
You know, I really don't know. I'm really bad with time. I think, so it's 2 nights, and 2 nights is 48 hours. The events start at 8 o'clock and usually end at midnight. So that's 4 hours there. It's WWE, so that's 3 hours of commercials. I don't know. So let's just say 3.5 hours.
We are at a count of 8. George,
3.5 hours.
9.
3 hours. 3 hours. 3.5
Last call.
3 hours and 20 minutes.
10. George has not answered the call. So Tom gets an extra shot here. So if it goes to a tiebreaker, we have an answer from Tom. We do not have one from George. So if it comes down to a tiebreaker, George will have been counted out, and we will have a new king. Will we have a new king? We will find out this weekend on WrestleMania. We hope you enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. It is the granddaddy of them all. We hope you enjoy WrestleMania. Check us out on Twitter, for live tweets during the show, Instagram, Facebook for our commentary there as well. And of course, make sure you hit subscribe because guess what? The best part of WrestleMania is the broadcast after Mania. You never know what kind of surprises might be in store that night. So, on behalf of myself, the referee, DaveCTheVoice. Oh, I'm sorry, Tom. You have one more thing to say.
Before you do your sign off, Dave, thank you for doing this. Thank you for being a fair referee. And I just want to say, I think my time has come. I think it's time for me to put a crown on. And how famous princes, princesses, kings, and queens wave to the people. They wave from above like George does. I wave with. I'm on your level, people. I love you so much. Hi from Tom.
And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, ladies and gentlemen. So on behalf of myself, the referee, Tom says hi, Sasso, and King Spaceman George, wherever he may be, don't forget to tell your mother you love her every day because like Kevin Durant said, Mom, you're the real MVP. Good night, everyone. Enjoy WrestleMania, and God bless America.